Morning, students. How are you all? I hope you are all fine and doing good. So, today, students, I have come up with a new chapter, chapter number 4, The Treasure Within. Okay, it is taken from the book It So Happened. So, here, the chapter, The Treasure Within, tries to tell that each and every individual have got a certain treasure within us. That means we are all fulfilled, we are all possessing some treasure within us which is completely hidden. If we try to expose it, then only we can show it to the world. But none in the world is left without any treasure. That means we all, each and every person is born unique. We do have a treasure within us. Clear to everyone? Okay. So now let us proceed. Now see. So this is the chapter about a person by the name Hafiz Contractor. Fine. So here he tells us all about his past. That means how had he succeeded in his life. So before proceeding towards the chapter, first of all, let us have a brief introduction about Hafiz Contractor. Okay, so who was Hafiz Contractor? Okay, Hafiz Contractor full name was Hafiz Saurabh Contractor, but he is popularly known as Hafiz Contractor. Right? He was born in 1950 and he is an Indian architect. He has designed many skyscrapers in India, primarily in the city of Mumbai. Since he is from Mumbai, so all his projects are primarily in Mumbai. As of 2001, if we speak about 2019, he is the architect of the 3 tallest buildings in India. Fine. Among them, one is the 42 in Kolkata, and the other one is Twin Towers of the Imperial in Mumbai. He was awarded the Padma Bhushan also in the year 2016 in January by the government of India. Okay. So he has completed his studies from the University of Mumbai and Columbia University. Clear all of you? So he as a worker is you can say as his occupation he is an architect. Fine. So this is his brief introduction. So now let us proceed towards the chapter. Now see. This chapter is an excerpt from the interview between Mr. Hafiz Contractor and Miss Bela Raza. So here this chapter is an excerpt. Excerpt means a short extract from a film or broadcast or a piece of music or writing. That means a short extract, a small piece which have been taken from a piece or from broadcast. So here it is a broadcast which we are talking about because he had an interview with Miss Bela Raza. Clear to everyone? Now see, Hafiz tells that he had unhappy schoolings. That means when he was a kid and he was a schoolboy, he was always unhappy. Most of the time he was unhappy. He was good in studies in the first and second year. So he said that he was good in studies when he was in the first and second standard. But he seemed to lose interest in studies from the third standard onwards. But when he stepped into the third standard, he started losing his interest in studies. He did not feel any interest in studies. Clear? He was always scared of mathematics and had nightmares about the mathematics examination. So, as a schoolboy, he hated studying mathematics because he was scared of it. He was really frightened of it. What is the meaning of scared? Scared means to be frightened, afraid. So, he was scared of mathematics and had nightmares about the mathematics examination. So, what do you mean by nightmare? Nightmare means a frightening or an unpleasant dream. Okay, like example, if we happen to watch a horror movie and at night while we sleep, we have some nightmares. And what is that nightmare? It is an unpleasant dream or a frightening dream which wakes us up. Clear? So, whenever Hafiz had his examination, he always had nightmares about his mathematics examination. He often saw a dream of appearing in the maths examination not knowing anything. So, what was his dream? He always dreamed that he is in the examination hall and his question paper is before him, but he does not know anything to write. He knows nothing from the question paper. Fine, everyone? This means that he was really scared of mathematics. He was so scared of mathematics that mathematics never leave him alone. Whenever the examination approaches, he often have nightmares about it. Clear? So, these things make him totally unhappy. Clear to everyone? Okay, next. Now, as a student, he was more inclined towards games and playing prank on others. So, as a student, when he was a kid, he was more interested in games and playing prank on others. I hope you know what is games, and I hope you even know what is playing prank on others. Fine? So, but playing prank on others is not a good thing. Okay? It is often an offensive thing, just like bullying. Bullying is considered as an act of crime. If one is found bullying, then he will be charged under the act of bullying. That means it is taken as a crime. Clear? So, Hafiz's contractor was more inclined towards games and playing prank on others. He was a very good sportsman and was the senior champion for many years. So, since he was more inclined towards games, he loved playing games, he had become a good sportsman. I hope you know what is sportsman? The one who plays sports. And he was also the senior champion for many years. For many years, he had remained a senior champion. Also, he was the captain of the cricket team at school, and when he was at school, he was also the captain of the cricket team. Next. Okay. Then he says that he cleared his examinations only by copying and cheating. So, he says that he cleared his examinations only by copying and cheating. So, see here now, since he was not interested in studies, it was definite for him that he would be weak in studies. So, he had to clear his exams, okay, but he had to clear his exam. So, how did he manage to clear his exam? It was only by copying and cheating. That means he started cheating and he started looking from others, and in this way he passed his examination. However, in class 11th, his principal called him and gave him a piece of advice. But when he was in class 11th, one day his principal called him to his office and he gave him a piece of advice. And what was that? The principal told him that he is a good student though he never studied. So, the principal told him that, Hafiz, I know you are a good student although you never study. You have a good brain, you have a good knowledge, but you never showed any interest in studies. But this doesn't mean that you are not a brilliant child. Okay, you are a brilliant child, but you have always wasted your time in playing and playing games and playing prank on others. Fine. He also told contractor that until now he took good care of him, but now he will have to take care of himself. He urged him to study. So, the principal, he also told Hafiz contractor that until now, ab tak, he took good care of him. That means the principal had taken a good care of him since he was a schoolboy, okay, and he stays in a hostel. So, the principal had taken a good care of him as he was a kid. But now he will have to take care of himself. But the principal says that, but now onwards, you are no longer a small kid. You are already a grown-up boy, a grown-up child. So now you have to take care of himself. And moreover, you see, your mother is a poor lady. Your mother had to work so hard in order to collect the monies for paying your school fees. And just imagine how would she feel when she come to know that you have achieved nothing. Fine. So, these things made Hafiz contractor sad. He understood what principal sir had tried to tell him. Okay, he understood that the principal had urged him to study. That principal always wanted him to study. Urged. Okay, urged means to insist, to give pressure to do something, that is called urged. Fine. So, the principal wanted Hafiz contractor to study well. Why? Because he is now already in class 11th, and after 11th he have to appear for his board exams. So, principal told that he had to be serious now. It is his time to be serious now. Clear to everyone? Okay, next. Yes, now see. The contractor followed the principal's advice and would only go for prayers, eat and study. Okay, and these things, this advice, it touched Hafiz contractor very deeply. If it moved him completely. Then from that day onwards, he started listening, he started following his principal's advice. And then he only goes for prayer, he only goes for eating and study. These were the three things which he did ever after that. So, as a result, he scored 50% of marks in his SSC examination. Fine. Okay, so he studied, he spent all his time in studying, and finally he scored 50% of marks in his SSC examination, that means Senior Secondary Certificate Examination. Fine. Now, so these all things it is during the interview, okay. Miss Bella Raja was asking him and he was replying her. Clear? Now, on being asked by Miss Bella that was he punished in school, so Bella later on she asked him that Hafiz, okay, tell me one thing, have you ever been punished in school? So he replied that he received caning almost every week. That means he got thrashing. Okay, caning means dandi padna. Okay, stick padna. To hit somebody with stick, that is called caning. So he replied that he received caning almost every week. लगभग हर हफ्ते उसे मार पड़ती थी because he was very naughty. Clear? However, it did not affect him as he was more interested in playing. But this caning also never affected him because he was more interested in playing. So he did not bother that how much pain does he receive every week. Not only this, but he would also indulge in group fights and was the gang leader. So, he was not only getting thrashing or caning from his teacher, but he would also indulge in group fight. That means he also include himself in group fights, and he was the leader of the gang. Okay, in college, in school, in senior classes, the children are already grown up and they started considering themselves as the king of the school, or you can say I am the hero. They have this kind of attitude. Okay, and they always try to think that I am the greatest of all. No one else should dare to stand in front of me. No one should dare to stand before me. And they started considering themselves as leader. And so Hafiz contractor was one of them. He was the leader of the gang, and he always, most of the time, he was seen in group fights. Clear? Okay. Then he remembers that one day when he was not in the mood to study, they played chore police for whole 1 hour. And one day it happened that he was not in the mood of studying. So what did he do? He distracted everyone, and he, along with his classmates, studied, played chore police for completely 1 hour. Next. Okay. After school, he wished to join the army. Okay. So now he has completed his schooling. He has completed his 12th. Okay. So now he wanted to join the army. He was more interested in joining the army. But his aunt and mother did not let him join even the police. Okay. But his mother and aunt did not let him join the army. So later on, he even tried to join the police force. Okay, everything was finalized. It was only for him to join the duty. But his mother tore up that letter, the letter which he received, the joining letter. Clear? Because his mother and aunt wanted him to study and complete his graduation and find a good job for himself. They didn't want that that their son would leave the study in between and start working. They want him to complete his studies and then he could find a better job. So this was the reason why his aunt and his mother didn't let him join the army and even the police. Okay, so now he has completed his 12th. And he scored how much? Only 50%. Okay, and good schools and colleges, they give admission to students above 90 or 95%. Fine. So now he had scored only 50%. So do you think, will it be possible for him to get admission in a good college? No, it will not be possible for him. Okay, but he had to get admissions in a good college. So what happened then? With some influence, he got admission in the Jai Hind College in Mumbai. So with some influence, under some influence, it means under the influence of somebody. Like, let me give you an example. Let us consider that I am the Chief Minister of Uttarakhand. Okay, and my son is very naughty. He is not good in studies and he had scored only 50% of marks. So now he wants to get admission in a good college in Dehradun, but he is not able to get admission. Why? Because of his less score. He scored less percentage, so he is not able to get admission. Then what happened next? Then under my influence, excuse me, then under my influence, I got admission in a good college. That means it was me, because of my influence, that I am the Chief Minister. So it was under my influence that my son got an admission in a good college. So similarly, in the same way, even Hafiz, with some influence, he got the admission in Jai Hind College in Mumbai. There he was supposed to study French, but being weak in French, he took the help of his cousin. Okay. And in that college he was supposed to study French. Okay. I hope you know what is French. It is the language of France. So, Hafiz contractor was weak in French. Fine. And he hated studying French. So, what happened? He got himself registered in German subject. Okay. It happened that he had to choose either from French and German, and he chose to study German, although he knew nothing about German. He thought, I will start studying the ABC, the basics of German, but I will not go back into French anymore, because he really hated French. During his school time, he opened his book of French only a day before his examinations. So, he was really very weak in French. So, even here now when he had to study French, he totally ignored it. He tried to study German, but after a few months it so happened that the German teacher passed away. वो गुजर गए थे, and the college was not able to hire a German teacher. So, Hafiz along with the other students had to shift back to French subject again, and this irritated him a lot, because he had never wanted to study French, but he is bound to study French now. Why is he bound to study French? Why had he not left the college and taken away admission to some other college? It was because of his low grade, only 50% marks. Clear? So, he thought, okay, let me study French now. So, what did he do? He started taking the help of his cousin. Fine. So, how did he take the help of his cousin? Now, see, his cousin was a girl. Okay, that means his sister. His sister's husband was an architect who knew French very well. So, his sister told Hafiz to go to my husband, that means to his sister's husband, that means brother-in-law. In Hindi we call it Jijaji. Fine. That means his sister told Hafiz to go to your Jijaji and he would help you in teaching French. Clear? So, her husband was an architect, and eventually he started going to his office in order to learn French. And she said that after your college, when your college gets over, in the evening you can go to his office and he will teach you French there. And then he started going to his Jijaji's office in order to learn French. Clear to everyone? Okay. So, I am going to end up the first part. Okay. The first part includes only this much. So, in the second part, I would be explaining the remaining part of the chapter. Clear to everyone? And then later on in the second part, you will come to know that what was the treasure within Hafiz contractor that made him successful. What was the thing that was hidden in him, which quality was hidden in him, which later proved him successful. That thing we would learn in the next chapter, I mean in the next video, sorry, not chapter, I mean in the next video. So, in this video it is only this much. Okay, the first part is only this much. So, I hope you have enjoyed the chapter, okay, the first part of the chapter. Okay, so be prepared for the second part of the chapter. Okay, thank you for watching everyone.